guest, Rochelle Schieck. She is a recent, I know, do you love that?
It's nice.
It's so cool. I mean, you have the best last name and first name, really. But she is recently a graduate of shaman school. And Rochelle is one of the coolest people I know, actually. World traveler, created a movement form called Koya that's recently launched at wisewildandfree.com. Can you talk, or wisewildfree?
Wisewildfree.com.
There's no ant. Wisewildfree. And so talk about Koya and the name and where that came from, because it's such a beautiful story. And just, you can talk to the camera instead of talking to me, even though it feels weird.
Okay.
Great.
So Koya is, and wisewildfree.com, it's basically, Wise Wild Free is the essence of each of the movement forms that influenced Koya. So wise is from the wisdom of yoga, wild is from the wildness and creativity of free dance, and free is from the freedom that's found, or the liberation that's found, and really saying yes to being a woman by finding the pleasure in moving your body the way that you want to move. So it's from that idea that I was teaching and doing yoga for 10 years and grew up as a dancer and had all this movement experience, and I just kept finding my body wanted to move in a more fluid way, in a less linear way, and wanted to be expressive and with intention. So it really came out of my experience and also my desire for my movement to be the way in which I express my true self. The name Koya was, I went to Peru as part of my shamanic training, and I went there with the intention of, I wanted to find a name that would encapsulate everything that I was trying to convey. And so I was visiting these ancient ruins, and they would talk about, they had all these beautiful places for the men, and then they had these similarly, like, just as big and just as important reverence for the women. And I thought that was really interesting, and they would say, oh, this is where the Koya would be, this is where the Koya would be. And I'm like, who are the Koya? And they said, this is where, it was basically another word for queen. And then as I did some research, I found Koya to be queen, female manifestation of higher consciousness. Wow. And I was like, that's it, that's definitely it, because what I believe is that through movement we remember our true selves, and we remember as women inherently in our bodies that we are wise and we are wild and we are free, and we're strong enough to take on the challenges that come up in our lives, and we can do it. And so to that idea that takes a level of higher consciousness to really own that and embody that. So that's how it all came together.
Well, it's really interesting, the piece that you said about remembering who we really are, because I had a session, a private session with Rochelle, and I don't do drugs, and I really rarely drink, so I'm just not much into, you know, chemical mood-altering substances. Yet, I found that after this session, I mean, I was so tripped out in the best possible way, and how I had described it to Rochelle was, I had this profound remembering of who I am, what I'm supposed to be doing, and, like, the entire order of the universe. And of course, that moment was fleeting. I don't claim to be enlightened or anything, but there was, no pun intended, a glimpse of really what that's about. And the fact that you are welcoming women into that and giving them an invitation to find what's really actually already in there, I just love that. So you're teaching some classes, right? And so what, like, if I came to your Koya class, what would we do?
So,
I mean, I'm sure it depends.
Yeah, no, one of my favorite things about Koya is really the opportunity to ritualize exercise. Ooh. So I like to turn the lights down low, rose petals on the floor, light some candles, just to mark it as sacred space. And then we'll set out with an intention, and a big part of Koya is also building community, so sharing your intention with someone in class. And then we'll do things like setting an intention with every movement. So we'll do rounds of sun salutations, and the first round may be, okay, really just creating space in your body for whatever your intention is. And then maybe the second round we'll look at, okay, what are the obstacles? And kind of, how does that show up physically? Like the obstacles in your hips, the obstacles, you know, in your spine. And then the third round will be something, how can you hold both? How can you hold this intention and this faith that you are heading towards your greatest becoming, and be completely at peace with where you are in your life right now as it is? So we'll do that. Well, also there's a lot of yogic movements that we just start to move more rhythmically, and it's almost like you're dancing the yoga. There's sacred space for sensual movement, which for me, when I say sensual movement, is just moving the way that your body wants to move, giving it permission to slow down, hip circles, being really expressive, and then my favorite part of class is just the peak in ecstatic free dance. So I sometimes joke that I love to teach yoga and dance, but what I really love is being a DJ. So I'll just create the soundtrack, because the music will take you so much deeper than my words ever can.
Right.
And just take you to that place where it's where you're not thinking about what you're doing, you're just being, and you're expressing in movement. So, and then at the end we have a nice little stretching, calm down integration through some stillness, and so it's a very full experience.
It's beautiful. I've taken Rochelle's classes before, and I've also done 8 million certifications to become certified to teach every fitness form you can possibly imagine. I teach none of them, but but I can tell you that I take all classes all the time, and so often we go to the gym, right, to work out and sweat and lose weight often, and it often comes from a place of actually hating our bodies as opposed to loving and approving and appreciating and being in gratitude for what they do for us all day long. And what's really part of the heartbeat of Koya is that reverence for the female body, and that's so huge, because so often exercise is about beating up on ourselves and being angry and being in disapproval. So it's a really different flavor and a really good workout. I mean, I totally got sweaty. I was sore the next day. So, but you can do that in an environment of love. So great.
Yes. That, I mean, I think that's, in a way, what I'm trying to do with exercise is really what I think collectively so many of us are trying to do on the planet. That we can switch the paradigm, that it can be so good, and it already is so good. So, you know, the awareness of the gratitude of what is, of just honoring everything that your body does do for you.
Right.
And really coming into appreciation, but then also stepping up to that co-creative role with the divine of we can make this even better. You know, we can do this. So by tapping into that energy, which I believe is within everyone, it's just a matter of remembering or looking within. And then, you know, so what you found with exercise or with the Koya class is just, you know, we can do this in every area of our life, but I think this is a place where being embodied is where we can really tap into so much of our power, our purpose, and our pleasure.
So if somebody's sitting at their computer right now watching this, what could they do right now to feel more embodied, like to actually get into their body?
Okay, this is one of my favorite things. So shake your right hand for 10 seconds. As hard as you can. Shake, shake, shake. Next 5, 4, 3, harder at the end, 2, 1. Now hold both hands and notice the difference between your right hand and your left hand. So this right hand, I mean, what are you feeling? It's more...
buzzing.
It's buzzing. It feels stronger. It feels more alive, radiant. This is like, if you had to be like, this is more of an expression to me or this is more of an expression to you.
This one is.
So one thing that I love to tell people to do is just go through their whole body and shake. So put on a song you love. It's like 3 minutes. You know, shake your right leg for 10 seconds. Shake your left leg. Wag your tail like a happy puppy. You know, shake, 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 shake. And the... like someone told me this story, and it was about a gazelle. So a gazelle is running through the jungle, or the plains, and there's this cheetah coming after it, and the gazelle escapes, and it's scared. So it's completely frozen and still, and then it'll go through this thing where it'll shake, 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 shake its whole body, and then it goes back to being a gazelle. This idea that there's so much trauma and fear that we hold in our bodies that's actually... you know, it's not actually a legitimate fear, but it's somatically, like the somatic memory, it's there. So just by shaking everything loose, and that's a lot of, you know, EFT and tapping. It's just, you know, setting new pathways for your brain and for your body.
That's the emotional freedom technique for those of you who aren't familiar.
So it's just, it's very, very accessible. Shake your body. It's fun. You feel awake. You feel alive. And yeah, that's something you could do right now.
So shake right now.
Shake.
2 questions.
Yes.
1, what do you love about your life?
Oh, what I love is actually, for a very long time, I desired so deeply to just have this freedom. I spent a lot of time traveling, and so what I love about my life is that I found exactly what I love to do with what I'm good at, and then I've created that into a business. And so that all my work is actually what I'm passionate about, and I'm so grateful for that every day, and I'm so grateful for the support and love that I have, and people cheerleading me in that direction.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm
amazing.
Yeah, really, really humbled by that, and really believe that that's possible for everyone. So I just want to keep showing up and doing it.
Yeah, where your deepest what is it, that Joseph Campbell quote, where your deepest desire meets the world's greatest need? What is it, Bindu? Where your deepest what?
Follow your bliss.
Follow your bliss. Okay, yeah. So that's the short
Campbell
version. And lastly, what are you afraid of in your life that you're doing anyway?
Oh, that would be pretty much everything. You know, I was sitting in a shamanic circle recently and doing some really deep internal work, and
I'm like so was I.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Just not everybody's doing that.
Yeah. And basically, it's this idea of like, I don't want to look there, I don't want to go there, and switching into this place of really having faith of what's on the other side of the fear.
Yeah.
And just taking on that, bring it on. Just bring it on, like really stepping into it and having faith that's on what's on the other side of the fear is the light or the truth of anything. Like if you really step into it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, launching my business was really scary. What if people hate it? What if people send me hate email?
I don't think that's gonna, but the thing about stepping into who you truly are is that you get to invite in all the stuff that comes with that. And sometimes that's people having things to say about what you are doing. And, I got my first really, really negative, nasty comment on my blog, and I really celebrated that day. And I said, you know what? I have arrived if somebody even is bothering me to send this, bothering to send this to me. Lastly, I don't want to forget to talk about your retreat that's coming up.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You can find Wise Wild free. You can find all the classes that Rochelle teaches here in New York, but just talk a little bit about the retreat real quick.
So Costa Rica is basically this amazing opportunity to get back to nature, the nature of ourselves as women, and then also the abundant, lush, beautiful nature of Costa Rica. So it's a Koya retreat where we'll have movement sessions every morning, and it's all about embodying the feminine. So there's also Elisa Vitti, who's going to be there and talking about really practical ways to know more about your body and your cycles as a woman and how to apply that to your daily life. There'll also be Liana Silver, who'll be there talking about relationships. There's a men's retreat going on at the same time, and so we'll be playing with them, and adventures, kayaking, surfing, zip lining, all organic food at this beautiful retreat called Blue Spirit. I'm so excited.
What are the dates?
It's December 11th to the 18th of this year, 2010.
Great.
Yeah.
So go find Rochelle at Wise Wild Free, or Wise Wild Free.
WiseWildFree.com. Thank you, Kate.
Bye.